Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, Don and I have been hosting Franchise Interviews now almost 5. During that time, we've had some incredible quotes on the show. Today you're going to get to hear from franchise consultant and a previous franchisee, Tom Scarda. And Tom has he actually has a bunch of wonderful quotes, but he mentions to buy based on what's good for you and not what's good for the neighborhood. I mean, how often have so many of us, we're driving and you say, God, that would be a great place for Papa John's or a Subway. And, that's not really a good reason to get into franchising, where I suspect some people do. So listen to what Tom has to say as far as his advice to prospective franchisees. I thought he did a great job. Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's real interesting, Tom, and what you're doing now, and you went through the whole process yourself, so I guess it's why you're having success now with FranChoice, because you saw it, worked for yourself. Even though, the failure was not an option, I mean, you must have had, just starting up a new business. It was your first time owning a business when you start up the Maui Wowie, right?
That's correct, yes.
So what was going through your, thought process then? I guess you were just... You had some peace of mind knowing you were working with a specialist in franchising, which gave you some confidence, and starting up a business maybe wasn't as nervous to you because of that. Was the whole mindset going in, Tom?
Yeah, and it's a coincidence. I don't know if one of your former interviewees, Carol Mercurio, who I think you know, was actually my consultant back in 2000.
Oh wow! She's great.
Yeah, she's very, very cool. So she helped me out greatly in this process. And said, really, really set me up to have my mindset in the right frame of mind, I guess. And we, dove into the investigation process, but also the franchise company was very helpful. They were very forthcoming with their information, really told us what it was going to be all about, and said to us, this is not signing a franchise agreement and then becoming a millionaire. This, like a lot of people join a gym, they think just by signing the gym agreement they're going to lose weight. You got to go to the gym. You got to work with them. You got to.
She's very good in getting that information across to you. She probably taught you a few new things about yourself you didn't know because of her analysis and depth that your company goes into when you're speaking to a prospect, right?
Exactly. It was a soul-searching experience. I use that phrase every day. I experienced it myself, and now I take my candidates through that same soul-searching experience where, a lot of people say, well, I love donuts. Let me open up a donut franchise. That's just a silly thing to do. That's not a good business decision. Or somebody will say, there is no whatever in my neighborhood, so I think I should open one. And you should be buying a franchise based on what's good for you, not for the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, so maybe talk about, Tom, what types of characteristics you think make a good franchisee. I mean, you go through that whole process. You probably know pretty quickly whether someone's a pretty good match or not. But what are some of the top characteristics that make people successful?
Well, there are two very delineating points. Either you're an extrovert or an introvert. And just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you're not a good franchisee. It just means that you may not want to be the kind of guy who's out drumming up your own business, and you might want something where it's more back office for you. So first we kind of figure that out. But you have to have a lot of self-confidence. You have to be able to know that you can be a success. And people don't realize, even if they're 30, 40, 50 years old in a corporate job, they're successful to where they're at. Right. And then they have to open up their comfort zone and get to the next level. A lot of people are afraid of that. So you have to be a little bit fearless, be willing to take a leap of faith, and know that you can do it. Because you'll never find a concept that you're 100% in love with. There's always a little something missing. And I kind of use the analogy of when you're buying a house. You might find the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood, but there's probably something wrong. You might not have the right windows that you want or whatever. And you have to learn to live with it, get into it, and then fix it and work with it.
Right.
So you have to do that. But as far as characteristics go, it's really the yearning and the want to really make a change for your future. And not everybody's cut out to be a franchisee or a business owner. And, we do need great people running, great civil service systems, or what have you. But you know, for me personally, I could just speak from personal experience. I was successful in transit. I moved very quickly up the line, but then realized that, you know, when I looked at the vice president and the president of transit, they weren't living in the houses I wanted to live in or driving the cars I wanted to drive, but business owners were. So if you got that drive, you can do it. And, of course, that's not for everybody. People are sometimes fine with a very simple lifestyle, and that's great. But I think you need to have the drive, and more than that, you need to have the vision, and you need to be a goal setter. You need to know what your goals are.
That's a good point, knowing what the goal. Because that's all just